All right, many thanks for remaining with us. It's still Good Morning Nigeria, live on the network service of the NTA. Now, Benue State has been in the news lately for the wrong reasons, and the latest reveal more killings with conflicting figures of casualties, with fingers pointing to different groups as being responsible for the mayhem.
Indeed, Yere, the killings have drawn protests from youths and elders of different communities in Benue State, while the state governor pleaded with the federal government to strengthen security operatives to stop further spilling of blood. Well, seated in the studio to examine tackling the latest security challenge in Benue State, he's Mr. Patrick Abambu, President, CEO, Security Watch Africa Initiative. Mr. Abambu, good to have you again.
Thank you so much.
Just about a week or 2 weeks ago, you were here with us talking about the issue of security generally in the country. But with this, I could recollect that we mentioned Benue the last time we had this kind of discussion. What do you think is responsible for this escalation?
I think generally, first I must express my sympathy to the families and that lost their lives and properties, and to the people of Benue State and Nigeria in general, because when it affects all of us. But I think what is happening is that we have not really tackled the situation from where it should, where we should get, we should tackle the problem from where we should get the solution. The problem here is that we have been treating these symptoms, and the courts will continue to be there. And so we keep on having this recurrent situation since a crisis break out in Benue in 2001, and it has never been the same ever since then. And that is the situation.
You said we're handling the situation from the wrong. There's a way you made that statement.
Yeah, we are treating the symptoms, not the main cause of.
What do you think?
What's the main cause?
Main cause?
Yeah, the main cause is first distrust, again, in the communities. Two is that the political class and the political leaders are not telling themselves the truth. Thirdly is that we are, as a people, generally nonchalant about issues of security. We will cry about it now. After about 1-2 weeks, we'll forget about everything.
When you say nonchalant, I mean, the budget every year is tilted towards security. So I don't know. Break that down for me.
No matter the amount you pump into security, it will not solve. Security is not what you just throw money at. Security is what you take care of from the root. And there are factors that breed insecurity. Factors like, when I said earlier, I said distrust. And secondly, because what is happening in Benue really is that the people there don't trust each other.
Okay.
And again, and when you don't trust yourself, you have this incursion of people from outside coming to aggravate your situation. And that is the situation. Today, most people are crying about herdsmen in Benue State, but it doesn't end in herdsmen, because within we have so many ethnic militia groups in Benue State. They are creating their own problem. In fact, their own problem is what is giving room for foreign incursions to create this situation we are having.
Trust or no trust? If the security operatives or agencies are up and doing, it won't escalate to the magnitude that we're seeing. Would you say that the security agencies, whether the police, the military, whatever, are doing the right thing, or are doing the needful in this situation?
You see, the truth of the matter is that kinetic effort, if you like, keep on killing. There's a factory that produces these people that will continue creating more problems. And that is the truth. I don't know if you remember, there was a time in Nigeria where firing squad used to take place for those who commit. It didn't stop people from doing it. Yes, it's a deterrent, but people keep on doing it. You still see criminals being killed openly, but people still go ahead to commit it. It's not for me. Let us take care of the root cause of this issue, which is one. The president made a wonderful speech, released a wonderful speech, and I'm happy that he will be going to Benue tomorrow. I pray that he will drum it down to them that there's need for them to sit down together. They must solve their problems. Nobody will help them. No federal government, no military will help them. Military is just to support in case of the peace initiative. But you must agree that what is causing all this distrust, what is causing this problem within us, we cannot allow foreigners to come because we are divided, because we are not trusting each other. We create problems within ourselves over issues of land, and it's giving room for land grabbing and a lot of accusations. And one of the major problems, again, why we're not finding a solution is because once there's any skirmish, once there's any problem, we label it headsmen. We don't look at who really could be these people. I could dress as a headsman and commit a crime, and somebody see me, we say he's a headsman. I'm not really. I spearheaded this some time ago over this issue about Ghana. When Ghana was creating a lot of problem in Benue, I raised the alarm. I said, listen, we must find out what is the issue. Until when it points down to Ghana was actually created. And he had so many, over hundreds of boys working with him. When he was eventually killed, these boys are still there. Arms are still with them. It's all about territory, about control, territory control and all that. The present statement points it, even though he didn't directly accuse the governor, but he said the governor must sit up and act as a statesman. It's not about the rhetorics. It's not about accusing people.
Don't you think that the challenge is overwhelming for the governor?
No, it's not. He's the chief security officer.
Some people have given this issue a political coloration. Do you see the hands of politicians?
Yes, it's because they want to create a state that will be ungovernable, create a situation whereby it will be easier for them to take over the next. It cannot be ruled out. When we're going towards election period, you see heightened insecurities from a lot of all these.
So now I'm wondering, what's the solution to this? You talked about distrust amongst the different ethnic groups in the state. You've talked about politicians also in the mix. So who should call the groups to order?
The president has given them, how will I say, template. If you read the statement of the president line by line and understand the mentality or the idea behind that statement, in just one paragraph, he stated it all. They must sit down together. They must sit and agree within ourselves. So it must be started by the state governor. Then secondly, the subnationals, the local government is not functioning. The local government must work.
So what role do you think the communities and the traditional rulers and the religious leaders need to play in this? Because they seem to have control over the people. They interact the people at the grassroots where this, clashes are happening. So
they have a lot to play. They have a lot to play. But unfortunately, there's a position of bias among most of them taking positions, and some of these positions are hardline positions, which is great. That is part of the reason why they must all sit together, no matter the situation. You can't allow foreigners to come in. Unfortunately, today, Nigerian border is very, very porous. That is where we come to the larger country now. It's very porous that people can migrate from different parts of the world, come to commit one havoc or the other, and it seems to go free. In that regard, I will put the blame on the doorstep of the immigration department, also on the intelligence corps, because they must be able to help. The governor of Benue did say that he got earlier intel from his colleague in Nasarawa State about it. What did you do? You must act quickly, not the security people. If I'm happy that the Chief of Army Staff has taken the bull by the horn to ensure, and luckily, just 2 days ago, about 450,000 soldiers have just been brought in, and some of them will be deployed there. But it's not just in the numbers, it's in preventing this from happening before it gets to this point.
You tried to give us a history. You said from 2001.
Yes.
This is 2025.
Yes.
24 years down the line. So it means that, sometimes it is heightened, it goes down. What, in your own view, what is the permanent solution, to the crisis in Benue?
Okay. The permanent solution to the crisis in Benue is maybe this should help. We have had it, but let it not be just a short-term measure. Go down there. The president is going there. He's the chief secretary of Nigeria. He's the commander-in-chief. Get these people. After he leaves, then they should sit down together and find out where is the problem. The governor did talk about coming out with a white paper. I set up a five-man committee to come out with a white paper. There are several white papers that have been passed. Sit down, look at all these things. What are the solutions? Are there people that are coming from outside to take our land, to kill our people? How are they coming in? Who is aiding them? If it's among us that we're aiding them, take action. There must be consequences for people who wants to foment trouble in the community for their own selfish interest. Take action, no matter who they are, whether political leaders or traditional rulers or whatever, leaders of thought, whoever is aggravating or fueling the crisis in the state must pay for it. The problem we're having is that there's no consequences for actions, for evil doing in Nigeria. And that is a danger. There are people who can do anything and go free. So in this regard, there are people who pointedly, they know they can be able to call a spade without caring for whatever. And that is only solution. And that will bring this permanent solution. Then we cannot say, okay, are there border issues we're having that can now extend to the neighboring states? Benue shares border with so many states. What are the problems we're having in those areas? And incidentally, those areas where they have borders are also having crises. So what are those issues? Because your neighbors must help you to secure yourself. So those are the areas. So first of all, by tomorrow, I pray it will be kickstarted. Then the governor has to sit down with his people, activate civil governance in most of these communities. If you go to some of these communities where these things are happening, they are nothing like governance, I must say. There's nothing like governance. They don't have anything to show that we have a government in place. So do something that will help your people by letting them feel that, yes, we have a government. Some of these people that are doing all these things is to put fear in the people, take over control of the people, start taxing them, start collecting illegal revenues from traders and market farmers and all that. That is their motive for economic gains. And so the governor must take the lead immediately and ensure that this is solved.
Do you really think that the governor or the people in Benue alone can solve this problem? Some people look at this issue as a ploy to destabilize the nation in general in terms of food security. Benue is known as the food basket of the nation. With all of this happening, we know farming activities and agricultural activities has reduced, in that state. From what you have said, and I mean what the governor is doing and what previous governors have tried to do in trying to call the situation, do you really think that this shouldn't be escalated, such that the president should, make some defining comments and, make some decisive decisions in order to deal with this issue? I mean, just looking at how long it has, lingered.
Yeah, what has been lacking previously, it's not the will, the statement that we must stop this, we must stop this. What has been lacking is putting actions to this will, to these statements. And that is what we're now saying now. It's something that you must solve your problem with yourself, within yourself. Outside that will just come to interlope and create more problem for you for different interests. So within yourself, the people must agree that we must live in peace. We will not allow outsider. Any outsider that is coming will let us unite and prevent it. The governor has that power. It's not about sending the military or the security forces. They are trying their best. I must tell you, I have visited there several times. If not for them, some of all these places we are talking would not even be in existence. They are trying their best. But another challenge is that when this crisis break out, by the time you communicate to these people, before they get to that place, the deed has been done. So what is this? That is why you must work to see how to prevent this from breaking out.
If the deal has been done, that's why a lot of people are now clamoring that it's high time we got state police.
That will not solve the problem. We have countries that have state police, they have their own serious problems. United States, for instance.
But it will reduce...
No. What you need is the community will. When people talk about communities, standing up, it's not about having state police or bearing arms. You understand? If we all decide here in this room that we will not want skirmishes or trouble here, it will happen. How do you do it? By knowing what each of us is doing, by knowing who is coming in and preventing it if it's going to be detrimental to us. But when we think that somebody outside will come and do it for us, nobody will do it for you. State police will even aggravate the situation because, like we said, politically, Nigeria is not yet mature. Nigerian politicians, maybe I will use that word, Nigerian politicians are not yet mature.
When will we be mature?
Yeah, when we'll be mature is that when we have a structure that is on ground where the winner don't take it all, where people don't easily cross carpet because of interest, when there's an ideology in politics, that is when we'll be mature, when I will know that, listen, you have your own strength, I have my own strength, let us compete. But if I have to, because I'm the chief executive of my state, and you are going to come and campaign in my state, and I say I will not provide you with police, what will you do?
You have the federal police.
Federal police cannot, because again, it comes to the point you're talking about, the extent of the federal presence. We have seen it happen in the United States. There have been some promises, there have been some clashes in that regard.
But they've been able to, manage it.
But before they did that, yes, in the United States, because that is where a lot of people will tell you, United States, let us not forget the configuration of the United States, because each of these states have their own constitution, have their own legislature. They have so many things that have been, they have their Supreme Court, there are nations that came together. We are not yet a nation that came together before we became who we are. So we are still interdependent on each other. And that is why it is the situation we are having. So we must understand that ideology, US as ideology can't easily cross carpet.
All right, fantastic. We're running out of time.
Yes, I know. So the issue about state police, because I understand that is a passion that a lot of people, some of us have said, okay, if you think it's going to work, let's work. But let us not forget that it has been indirectly practiced in the past.
All right, so what do you expect the president's visit to do tomorrow?
Yeah, I expect him to play the father role, because when people in your house seems to be in trouble, you go there to set a tape, bring out what you think they should do. And that is what he has started by telling that the governor must take the lead, be a statesman, dialogue. I know he's going to address the leaders of thought and stakeholders in the state. That is general. And after that, the template must be that the security chiefs working with the communities and the state officials will sit together to work out a modality to make sure that everything that was creating problem within the state is taken care of.
So you think the visit tomorrow will put, a stop to the escalation?
It will put a stop if there is action matching the words. If after all the beautiful speeches and claps and all that, and there are no action, there are no follow-up. You see, that is why I see there are some templates we need to learn, because some things, there are some other places, some people have thought, because Benue is very, very rich in terms of agriculture and the land and all that. We have some other places. Are they experiencing similar situation? Why? What is the attraction in Benue? That is part of the thing that we need to be able to look into.
Many thanks.
Thank you.